Welcome to another edition of the Gridiron Report. I'm Jarret Johnson. I'm joined by the mighty Joe Yeager. Well, mighty Joe, how you doing today, man?
Doing good. How you doing, Jarret?
I'm good. Had the open week, time to kind of recharge our batteries. Hoping the team did the same. But now, number 11, Texas Tech hits the road again to take on in-state conference rival,
Maybe.
Burgeoning rivalry, maybe,
Yep.
against Houston. Both teams 4-0 overall, 1-0 in the Big 12. 6 p.m. Saturday. That game will be on ESPN. Mighty Joe, what's your initial thoughts on Texas Tech versus Houston?
Well, there's a lot of confidence around here right now. I think there's confidence in the program. There's confidence in the fan base, and I share that confidence. To be perfectly honest, this looks like a game that if Tech just simply goes out there and they don't come out ridiculously flat or anything like that, or have a lot of crazy things happen or something, untoward like that, which sometimes does happen. But forbidding all of that, then I think Texas Tech is the better team and should win this game by a pretty wide margin, probably at least, a couple of scores. And Tech is favored right now by, 11 points, 11 and a half?
13 and a half.
13 and a half now. It just keeps climbing. It started out around 9 or
yeah, I don't know about that initial line.
Right.
I think most Vegas people are seeing it opening up at 13 and a half.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's a pretty good size spread.
Yeah.
For being on the road like that against an undefeated team. But I like Tech's chances.
I do too. Have you seen Houston play this year?
No, I have not.
I watched them against Oregon State, and honestly, one of the mailbag questions was, "What's your worry level with this game?" They're undefeated. It's there. Of course, they want to win. I mean, Tech's won, I think, the last 6 times, 6 matchups, and 11 of 12 of the last 12 matchups. So it's been one-sided for decades in this matchup. So, I was kind of worried about that. Then I watched them play against Oregon State. I would take Tech given 2 touchdowns, to be honest.
Yeah.
Tech should just roll over them from what I've seen. I saw them play in just little parts here and there in 2 other games earlier this year. I thought, okay, here they are against a common opponent in Oregon State. I know about the talent level they have. Let's see what Houston does. They won, but it took a heroic comeback, and they were getting their butts kicked at the line of scrimmage. That's a bad recipe going against Texas Tech,
Sure
specifically the defense. So, there is a chance, like you said. We've seen crazier things in life happen, but Tech to be a 2-touchdown road favorite against a conference opponent, that's crazy. You don't see that a lot. So, obviously Vegas sees it kind of like we do.
Sure. Yeah, and obviously the transitive principle doesn't necessarily apply just because you had a common opponent. However, in this case, you got a common opponent that was played recently by both teams, and on top of that, the disparity in the outcomes of those 2 games was huge.
Yeah.
I mean, Houston maybe should have lost that game against Oregon State.
Yeah.
Texas Tech dictated that game to Oregon State here. I mean, the final score was 45-14, but it could have been much, much more one-sided than that. I believe it was 28-0 at halftime or something like that. Tech was just doing whatever they wanted. So, I mean, when you see that sort of a disparity in the levels of play and a common opponent that was very, very recent, then I think that actually means something.
It does, but Tech still has to show up.
Yes, they do.
You know what I mean? And I believe they will. I really do. And there's a little bit of room for error with that defensive line. Yeah, looking at all the stats, like Texas Tech is number 2 in the country in terms of offense, and right up there with defense as well in terms of points allowed. Number 2, total yards, number 2 in the country against the run. When was the last time we said that about Texas Tech's defense? I don't care who they played. They do have, obviously, a legit win with that road win at Utah, who, by the way, they've responded by whipping West Virginia. I was looking forward. Okay, let's see Utah. Are they? Oh no, it was over in the first quarter in that game. So that gives you an idea of the value somewhat of that win. But yeah, I can't believe Tech has the number 2 rushing defense a third of the way through a season.
Well, with that talent in the front 7, they should be perfectly honest. I mean, it's crazy, but I mean, is there a more talented front seven in college football? I mean, maybe there is in the SEC. Maybe there's one or two, but or the Big Ten. But yeah, they're right up there. You know, in terms of overall talent, with those guys up front, you know, they should be dominating. And they are, man. I mean, there's, as you said when we were watching the game in the Jones here earlier this season, talent matters.
It does. It really does, and we're seeing
newsflash.
Newsflash. You still got to put the team together, all the pieces in the right place, ultimately. But yeah, talent does matter. I also wanted to talk to you about the offensive line because I feel like they're running the ball now, kind of like what we were expecting going into the season. It was really impressive what they did in Utah, running for 173 yards.
Sure.
What do you think about the offensive line overall?
Yeah, you know, well, I think what's going to be really, really interesting about this game, I mean, the mismatch with Texas Tech's defense against Houston's offense is greater than the mismatch, I believe, between Texas Tech's offense and Houston's defense.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Houston's defense it has some ability. It has done some things well.
Yeah,
it really has. So, but I think ultimately passing the ball against this team is going to be the more difficult thing to do. I believe that the sooner that Texas Tech gets to the run, you know, the sooner that they're going to start to separate from Houston.
Yeah.
You remember against Utah, it really wasn't until the second half of the second quarter that Tech started just running at them a little bit, and then things started opening up a little bit. And you know, I think Tech can run the ball with that offensive line against Houston, but we'll just have to see how soon they do it. When does Mac Leftwich commit to it? You know, these young pass-happy offensive coordinators, man, they like to throw the ball around a lot. So sometimes the run gets forgotten a little bit. So I just kind of hope this time we get to see them test them out, you know, in the first quarter and see what happens.
Yeah, I understand that philosophy. I will say I also get that they ran Utah ragged, you know, sideline to sideline and vertically some. I mean, Tech was taking some vertical shots.
Sure.
Trying to wear them out, and then you run right at them, and the defense is tired. So, I mean, it worked. It worked out because even the commentators were saying on TV that by the second half, like already coming out of halftime, the defense was gassed, and that's when they really hit them with the run when they were worn out. So, you know, if that works out again, then that's fine with me. You know what I mean? But if they work in the run early, that's fine too. However they get it done. Houston, like you said, does have a good defense. I think it's top 15 in terms of total yardage allowed. Points allowed is something like that as well. And it's a very good run defense team as well as having a good secondary, which is probably the strength. Yes, say Houston, you look at their secondary, it's a pretty good group. You know, Utah ended up playing very well, the secondary overall, but they exceeded my expectations. I wonder if Houston might do the same.
Yeah, I mean, Houston's does have 5 interceptions on the season, which is a high number. It's 5 different guys who each have a pick.
Yeah.
All right, so they've got various ball hawks back there, not just 1 or 2 guys. They've recorded 9 sacks and a bunch of different quarterback hurries. And again, with Houston, you had that big monster, or with Utah, you had that big old dude on the defensive end, Daly. Who was, I mean, he recorded, he's pretty much the entire team sack number just in himself. With Houston, there's like 3 or 4 guys who are 2.5 sacks. So it's a little bit of a different challenge. They can bring pressure from different areas. And I mean, look, you know, Baron Morton has to play discipline. He's got to be careful with the ball. He can't force stuff in. You know, I think if he does that, everything's going to work out all right. But, you know, we just, you know, Baron is a fiery, kind of a wild card sort of a quarterback sometimes, like a Jake Plummer type in some ways a little bit.
Good comparison.
Thank you very much. You know, this is a game where I think he's got to kind of be settled down and disciplined and really just take what the defense gives him.
I agree. Well, 6 p.m. Central Time down there in Houston, their stadium, TD.
One of those acronyms,
I don't know.
TDECU.
TD something in Houston. Like I said, 6 p.m. Central Time. Game will be televised on ESPN. But for now, Mike Joe, great stuff from you as always. Thank y'all for watching, and until next time.